What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another tutorial, and this one's kind of special. I'm cutting my brother-in-law's hair right now, so I haven't cut him in a long time. I usually cut his son's hair, but today he asked for a cut. He pulled up to the shop, so I was like, "Why not? Let's make a video." So right now I'm using the 4 closed, all the way closed, to get that bulk off. Now he went to a barber. They left, I don't know what they did with his hair, but we had to bring him back to life. So I hit him with the 4 all the way around. Took off all the bulk, nothing too crazy. When it comes to buzzing people's hairs, take your time. There's always stragglers. Use a brush, use a comb to get all the debris out and all the excess hair, just so you can get a perfect buzz haircut. So after, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set my first guideline, and with my first guideline, I'm gonna use the LI low babulous trimmers with the blue FX blade. Now, these blades go crazy. All the barbers always ask, how did I get these blades so sharp and crispy? I was lucky enough to just get them out the box and just zero gap them, and they came crispy. So to me, I didn't do anything to them, but they go crazy anytime the barbers need them. They like using them. So right now, I'm going to just set the guideline, take off that first set of bulk. And when it comes to a drop fade, you want to take your time, go over the ears, under the occipital bone. Make it really look like it's a drop fade. Take your time. Remember to bend the ears. There's no rush. I always tell you guys there's no rush. Take your time. So all we're doing is just cleaning up that hair that we don't need. All that is just mess that's going to get us confused. I know a lot of people just do the guideline and start fading up. I like taking all that bottom stuff off myself, personally. Once we set this guideline, we should be using the balders to get that next guideline out. And if you don't have a balders or the shavers, whatever you call it, I recommend really investing some money into the shavers. I have the sterling finish all white wall balders. I had the black ones when they first came out, and they finally died on me a couple months ago or a year ago. So I had to upgrade and get these ones. For whatever reason, I just love wall, and when it comes to the balders, I was how I started, and I believe that's how I'm gonna use. I know other people use Babyliss or other shavers, but I like these ones myself. So all I'm doing is setting another guideline, if you can see, and I'm just going an inch right above the trimmer guideline. So next, I'm going to use my JRLs all the way lever open, and I'm gonna set my next guideline. Always try to keep your guidelines the same thickness, the same amount. If you do one that's really thick and you do one that's really skinny, you're gonna get lost, or the blend's not gonna come out properly. So just remember to do your guidelines very nice and neat and visible, so you can see. So you can see my guidelines are about an inch or so, and all the way around it's consistent. That's all it is, consistency. So now I'm gonna use my Jara L's, and I'm just gonna flick at that line, use my corners of the blade, and just go notch by notch all the way down. As you can see, I'm flicking the lever lower and lower. Remember to brush off all the debris, all the hair. You want your canvas to be clean as possible so you don't get lost in your guidelines. Now, I've been getting a lot of comments, Abe, why do you always do the same guidelines? Why don't you skip steps? These are tutorials for anyone who wants to learn. Obviously, I can fade from the top and go all the way from the bottom, or I can use clipper over comb. That's not what this video is about. We're going step by step and showing you guys how it is to do the easiest and efficient way to cut hair. So all I'm doing is just flicking out, going lever by lever, taking my time, softening up that guideline. That's all we're doing. We're not erasing it. We're not trying to push it up. We're just softening it up. All we're doing is going from a dark, thick hair to very light hair. So just longer to shorter. I'm going to do the other side. Always remember to bend the ear. Once you go around the ear, it will make a huge difference, a big difference if you do that. And all I'm doing is just flicking out, using my corners, little by little. Now, the JRLs have two levers, a high and a low speed. I use the low speed to fade out, and I use a high speed to set my first guidelines. So it does work. A lot of people just like using the fast speed. I think it gives a lot of indentations or a lot of mistakes. So I always go with the lower speed. What I like about these clippers, they always tell me how much time I have left. And they should last 5 hours. And if I do it correctly and turn them off and on while I'm cutting and don't have them running when I'm not cutting, they will last me at least 2 days. So at least 10 to 15 clients, 10 to 20 clients. So next, I'm going to set another guideline, which is my one closed. And as you can see, I'm going over the ear and I'm dropping it under the occipital bone. That's what a drop fade is. It's like a little rainbow. So I'm setting my next guideline, going to the back of the neck, right where the occipital bone is. And I'm just following that guideline, taking my sweet time. What I like to do with this is I like setting up my one guideline right the same amount as the last guideline, just so it blends in perfectly. So now I'm going to use the 1/16 guard or the half guard and repeat that same step. I'm going to go all the way lever open and close it notch by notch, softening up that one guideline. If you do this correctly and flick out correctly, you don't have to take that guard off and keep fading down. But sometimes, hey, you can't get that line out, take the guard off and just start going lower by lower. Now with his hair, he has very thick and dark hair, but he doesn't have a lot of it. So if I do use this guard, I have to be very gentle and very precise so I don't push up his hairline or his guideline or make a bald spot. Some clients you don't have to, some clients you do. You gotta take your time and know your clientele. Know how short you can go, how dark you can go, keep the bulk, not keep the bulk, because some people you can buzz it and it'll look extra smaller than what they needed, or some people will go short and it'll still look dark. So right now I'm just softening up that guideline again. It's going little by little. Nothing too crazy. Taking my time. The funny thing is, you guys tell me, have you guys ever cut someone's hair, or have you seen anyone at the barbershop that they're getting a haircut? It's so therapeutic. It's massaging their hair. They hear the vibration. They hear the buzzing in their ear, and they start falling asleep. So what happened to my man's pots and pans, my brother-in-law? Started getting tired. Started hearing all the buzzing. It was a nice day. It was hot. He passed out. Had to keep waking him up. So all I'm doing is still softening up that guideline, using my half or 1/16. I'm just flicking up. Trying to get that line out, softening it up, taking my time. See, always bring down the ear. If you don't bring down the ear, you're possible to nick the client, have them be uncomfortable because the lever or the clippers just smack in his ear. Be gentle. You don't have to rip his ear down. So now I'm going to use my next guideline, which is my 1.5 closed. Yes, my 1.5 closed. I do not go straight to the 2. I like setting that guideline. A tip, if you do use the 1.5 as a guideline, it will push the fade up a tad bit higher, but I love how it looks like that. So for right now, we're just going to leave it like that. So now that I'm going over the ear and next to the C-cups, back down to the occipital bone. Next, I'm going to use the 1 open, the 1 guard open, and just start flicking out. Now, what I like about this is I really don't need to use the 1 and close it, go lever by lever, because the 1 and the 1.5 are so similar and close that I can easily blend this line out. This is why I like doing it. Some people like doing the 2 after the 1 and then blending it down. I don't like it. To me, it comes out a little bit choppy. This seems more comfortable or fluid. So once we do this side, we're going to go around and do the next side. Now, you guys tell me if you guys like these angles, if you guys like these views. If there's something you see that you want me to switch up, let me know. I'm trying to do this for you guys. I'm trying to be as precise and helpful so you guys learn how to cut hair. So now I'm going to go under the occipital bone and go over. And all I'm going to do is just soften up that guideline lever by lever. If you can see, I'm just closing that lever every time, just so we can get that nice haircut. Little by little, going over the C-cups. Now, I've done this for so many years. I don't need to use the corners all the time. I can just go straight to it and use the whole blade. I know how to put the blade on the client's head, everything. So little by little. Next, we're going to do the 2 open. Yes, we're going to skip this step. Finally, so you guys can see, I'm going to use the 2 open, which is going to go all the way to the ridge of my brother-in-law's hair. And because he has a 4 on top, the 2 open is like a 3. So I'm just blending out that line, trying to soften it up. The back of his head. Everyone's back of their head is always darker. So it's always nice to after go back and go with a lower guard just to soften it up even more. Quick tip. And all I'm doing is just taking my time. You guys tell me, what's your favorite guard to use? I know I like using the 1. I like using the 2, but that 1.5 or that 1/16, I don't know why. I just don't like it. I don't like it. That shadow guard to make that shadow fade, I don't like it. Everyone's different. Y'all guys let me know. Put a comment at the bottom which guard you like the most. Now that I did my 2 open and started closing it, I now have my 1.5 open. Ooh, he fell asleep. My 1.5 open and just flicking out, and you can see that line is already erasing. I didn't have to do a 2 guideline and then a 3 guideline and fade it all down. I went straight to the 2.5 open and then brought it down, and now I'm at the 1.5 open and bringing it down and softening up that guideline. Little by little, going right where the occipital bone is, taking my time. Like I said, there's no rush, no rush. I'm using lever by lever, notch by notch. Go to the other side. As you can see, it's already almost faded out. I really like cutting his hair and his son's hair just because the fades always come out perfect. I don't have to stress or worry about how it's going to turn out. How I set my guidelines is how I cut my hair, and it comes out perfectly. I don't have to adjust anything. I don't have to go back and refade. It just comes out fluidly. Now, right now, I'm going to get his little pistachio, his little mustache. And I'm going to do both sides and then his goatee as well. I think a haircut is always a must. But if you have a straggly beard, if you have a beard that's not lined up, a mustache that's not lined up, a goatee that's not lined up, it just makes the haircut not pop. It doesn't complement anything. Think of the mustache, the beard, the goatee, the facial hair. Think of it as your appetizer or your dessert or your beverage. You can't just have a main course with no appetizer, with no beverage. Like, it's just, what are we talking about? You understand me? You got to do everything. Now, some clients like doing it themselves or don't have enough money. That's understandable. But as a barber, having everything nice and neat makes a huge difference. All I'm using is just my liners, getting that out. He wanted it round this time instead of triangled. We're taking our time. Oh, he's tired. So now what I'm going to do is just hit him up with the lineup real quick. Something soft, not too crazy. We're not going to push him back. We're going to make it look nice and natural. I like to go from the middle to one side and then the middle to the next. Remember to brush out all the debris. Take your time. Use the corners when you use the C cups. When you're going on the C cups and lining them up, use the corners. Hopefully you can see this side. My shoulder's in the way. Well, I'm hitting them, getting them looking right, making them look nice. And right now, all we're doing is the finishing touches. Nothing too crazy. Letting them just, you see, I'm using that corner for the hooks. The corners really help of the blade when you're going on the hooks. It really sharpens it out. Now, this is the after. Y'all let me know. You tell me if I barred up my brother-in-law. A 4 with a mid drop ball fade. I hope you guys liked it. I go by Blessed by Abe. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what you guys liked about this haircut, what you don't like about this haircut, what I need to do. Thank y'all, everyone. Have a good day.